Dad's flying my plane to Tampa. It's pretty cool. Hope he does a good job. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Excellent, you guys. I am excited to be here this morning. I am even more excited because yesterday I was in a session across the hall and I start getting bombarded by texts, and it's all from family members. It's all from family members, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Anytime you start getting bombarded by texts from family, you're like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Start looking at it, and my entire family is like, oh my gosh, you're not gonna believe this. Your dad is in Columbus, Ohio. You guys, my dad, he is a pilot for Southwest Airlines, and his leg ended here in Columbus last night, so he's texting me, hey, I'm gonna be downtown, where are you at? I'm like, I'm at the Hyatt Regency. He's like, I'm right across the street. So there's my dad over there. Dad, say hello. I have to embarrass my dad. But not only that, what's even crazier is that at the end of the day, when I'm done and I'm going back to Tampa, he's about to leave for work. He's gonna go back and forth, and then he's gonna come back to Columbus, and he's actually flying the plane home that I'm on tonight. So it's kind of cool. But anyway, this is the first time my dad's been able to actually see me speak, so I'm really excited about it.
All right, he's never been on my plane before either.
So a traditional scooter that's electric. So you go to Shanghai, they don't allow gasoline in the city anymore.
Okay.
Scooters, it's all electric.
I see them coming. Our issue, I think it's gonna be great for a lot of communities. I mean, we even have like the Electrica, the Vespa, the electric Vespa. I mean, it's a little pricey. The industry is going to evolve. We're gonna see a hell of a lot more electric in the coming years. But, you know, our problem in Gainesville is where we were the solution. Like, we created this scooter business, and it was the solution. Now you saw all those lines of scooters. Now we're just part of the problem when it comes to parking. So I'm trying to get the University of Florida, like, you guys need more parking. And these electric scooters, if they're similar in size to a 49cc scooter, what I predict is that in 5 to 10 years, and this is where embrace and shape change, core value 4, you know, we might not be new scooters for less anymore. Yeah. We might be new electric vehicles for less. Right. You know what I mean? Like, there will be an evolution. We've dipped more into like the e-bikes because, you know, I'm trying to reframe no longer the scooter. We're not in the scooter business. We're in the student transportation business. So like, we need to like do more electric bicycles, the electric skateboards, whatever. And I think it'll be a combination of a lot of that stuff. So we definitely learned some lessons from the first talk. Overall, the talk went really well. I love the Q&A. I wish I could just do Q&A. It's just way more in my zone, I feel like. But we had a technology hiccup because I have one of the brand new MacBook Pros, and even though I had the adapters to plug up to the HDMI for the projector, it wouldn't show up on the screen, so that was frustrating. So I had to move my file to a flash drive, put the flash drive into their HP laptop or whatever it was, Windows laptop, transferred it over, started the presentation, didn't know how the slideshow presentation worked on PowerPoint on the window, so I couldn't get it into the slide, what is it, the presenter view. Couldn't get in the presenter view, and then once I started, I realized that the fonts, like my branded font, wasn't on the computer, so none of the text lined up. That was a pain in the ass, that's what it was. So basically, like, first few minutes were kind of like, you know, and I don't like it when stuff like that happens because it kind of like, it flusters you a little bit, it kind of like gets you off your groove, off your like, you know, you're zoned in, you're ready to go, and then you hit this wall all of a sudden. But we worked through it, and I thought the rest of the talk went well. Like after we got it going, and I had to ignore the font, even though I hate that I had to show it the slideshow presentation in the way it was. It's just part of it. But then we just spent an hour after the presentation to make sure that it's fixed. So we got it. Now it's going to be on Mike's computer, which is a little bit of an older Mac. But at least we updated the fonts, and the presentation looks like it should. So, and we've already tested it. So when I go back and speak in an hour, 2 hours, we should be good. But you know, that's it. Sometimes you got to go with the flow. Shit's gonna happen. Live and learn from my mistakes. If you're presenting, make sure your presentation isn't dependent on fonts and other stuff.
I thought the Q&A went well. My question is, if no one wanted to engage, what do you do?
I engage them. So like when I asked, you know, we kind of hit one of those points where there were no more questions, and I said, okay. I was like, is anybody in here, like, what's something that you guys do to...
Now, is that something you were prepared to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I had that question in my mind, like, hey, like, I'll ask them, is there anything anybody in the room does in their business from a customer experience standpoint that you feel like other dealerships don't do that's kind of an advantage for you? And we had a couple people share, so it was good. Just got to keep the conversation going.
No beats, ain't no time for the peace, for the least some deceased that was known in the streets. Darkness is relevant, look at the president, maybe it's negligent, maybe it's evident. I just be knowing that people be showing their colors and it's cause their color is black. I just be knowing that people be showing their colors and it's cause their colors is black.
Yeah, so what I would do is if I had an Instagram account as Moto Pro Shifter, I would be getting into other people's accounts. So I would search adventure bikers, right? They're posting up content. I just get in there and content. Oh, dude, that's a really cool picture. Where were you at? Like, what canyon was that? What, like, whatever. Just get in there and start commenting and like talking to them and building those relationships through comments. Like, they're gonna end up following you because they're gonna go, who is this guy who keeps commenting on my stuff? They're gonna like look you up and like, oh, that's a unique product, you know. And then they might not buy one, right? But they might know somebody who will. Like, you know,
One turns into 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8.
But it's all the intent. Like if you go into it with the intent of, all right, I want to build relationships with people in the adventure bike, you know, niche. And that's the truth, then great. If you go in with the intention of, man, like I'm trying to like use a tactic to sell somebody something, that's the wrong motive. So like you're not, long term it's not going to win. But if you go in with like building relationships, then
Yeah, the relationship thing is big. Like the book Company of One.
Yeah.
If you've ever heard of this.
Who wrote it?
I can't think of who.
I'll need to look it up.
Company of One. Where
Okay.
It talks about customer, you know.
But
Building.
if I was selling that product, that's exactly what I would do. I would, you know, maybe I show some cool machine shop of us like working on it, doing like describing like if I was creating content, I'd be creating content of like why I decided to create this product. What led you to doing this? You know, who's it going to benefit? What ways can it be used? You know, like what, I mean, there's plenty of content to still be made around it, and you still post that content, but getting into the other accounts and building relationships with motorcycle adventurers is what you want to do.
Thank you, Collin.
The content creation is ongoing all the time.
Nice talk, man. I'll go anywhere to watch you talk, bro.
Talking, I swear, switching my lanes, living too fast. Forgive him for living his life as a prison, so many you crash. When I feel like I'm dead, not alive, then I feel right, I bled from my eyes. Maybe your tragedy, call me your majesty, ain't no one bad as me, Aggie like Agassi.
Guys, this is really exciting. My dad, I've never flown on a plane that you've ever.
Ever. Not even a little airplane.
Not even like a Cessna or anything?
No, have I?
No.
Are you sure?
I took Brad and Tara up when
You've never taken me up
when
on a
Mr.
plane?
Allen and Mr. Reed were
No,
down.
I think we have once.
Are you sure? I don't have any documentation
Anyway.
up. There are no pictures. I have pictures of Brad and Tara.
Dad's flying my plane to Tampa. It's pretty cool. Hope he does a good job.
Did you see what Brad posted?
You're gonna land and you're like, that's my dad!
My son. Collin, and his co-workers, Josh and Mike.
Did I tell you this? It was complete coincidence. Like everybody, I'm in a session yesterday, and my phone starts blowing up with text messages, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I like check them, and then everybody's like, Dad's in Columbus tonight. You see that? I'm like, what? Dad's in... He texts me, he's like, where are you staying? I'm like, I'm at the Hyatt Regency. He's like, we're right across the street. It's like, and then he said that he was flying the plane home. He's like, what flight are you on? Like, going home tomorrow night.
Right.
Or you've made the connection somehow.
With Shannon. I said,
okay.
I said, ask Shannon, it's his wife, you know, what flight he's taking home, and 367. I got my phone out and I'm looking at Crew Buddy and I'm looking at, hey, I'm flying 360. That's unbelievable, yeah.
Dude, well, what? I mean, I want to know like what the actual odds of something like that happening are.
It's gotta be huge.
How many planes?
I was telling Brian I'm gonna go.
Air, like, what are the odds?
Number of cities.
You need to play the lottery.
That's what I just said. So do you have any questions, Collin? This is what I usually do to like I bring like usually people under the age of 10.
You guys, I'm basically a 10-year-old right now because I'm sitting in the cockpit of my dad's Southwest jet that he's going to be flying us home tonight. Look at all this fancy stuff. All right, Dad, tell us how it works.
Oh, I was saying, I usually reserve these cockpit visits for 10-year-old, 10 to 12-year-olds.
I mean, I'm basically a 10-year-old right now.
You know, you got the steering wheel. I show them the. This is the gas. Where you step on the gas, you pull back, you go up, you push forward, you go down, Collin. We got radios down here. We got autopilot here.
Get ready. I'm
got navigation system here, GPS. You got air conditioning up here. You got all kinds of good stuff.
The seats are comfy. You guys got the nice little padding. They take care of you guys.
Yeah, not bad at all.
I'm like, I'm a captain. Look at this. Flying this baby.
Just happened to have an overnight here last night. My son ran into my son at the Expo.
He's up there. You see him?
Go to the Expo. Very good. He gave me a shout out this morning. So believe it or not, this is the first time he's ever flown on an airplane with me. I've been flying airplanes for 40 years. So this is a special moment, and it was really, it's all coincidental, nothing planned. It just happened that way. So, Collin, don't wait another 37 years, 4 months, and 10 days before you do this. Hey, we'll be on our way shortly. Thanks for joining us. Welcome aboard.
What if this moment goes viral?
We gotta sign off the vlog.
Well, Mike just did that.
Oh, that's the NSRL
that was the
vlog.
NSRL vlog.
Collin vlog.
Oh, okay.
So,
What do you want me to say?
how cool it was that I was on your flight.
Okay.
I love you, son.
Guys, had an excellent time at AIM Expo. It was a lot of fun speaking. Learned a lot from the other speakers. Saw a lot of really cool vendors. I think the coolest part of the whole entire trip was the fact that I just randomly got on my dad's flight from Columbus to Tampa. So he flew the plane home, which was really, really cool. So I'm gonna let my dad do the sign off for the vlog.
It's really cool. You got to fly with me for the first time. I got to be at your speaking engagement.
Yeah,
First time I've
that was
heard you
cool.
speak for the first time. I mean, other than watching it on
Video.
on video. So that was very cool. Great time. And did I do all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You did good. I liked your little jokes on the plane too. Like, oh, it's probably my son's fault that that we're delayed or
Anyway,
so that was good.
It's something I'll always remember. It was a lot of fun. So long, vlog from Tampa.
See you, vlog.